Now, I had a situation in this one with pocket queens where I had no idea what to do, but we're going to get to that a little bit later. I'm going to be focusing on, for the most part, why most people lose playing 500 NL and what you can kind of do to adjust. And for those of you watching for the first time, I'd like to give a little background on myself. And basically, I've been playing for the last 2 decades, hop on about 4 times a week playing mid stakes, and I don't have one type of strategy like GTO, ABC, or whatever. I really focus on two things. The first is making good decisions because at the end of the day, we do have control over that. And the second thing is that I try and use strategies against my opponents and exploit them as much as possible, meaning I will bluff without hesitating if I think somebody is weak, okay, point blank. And after playing so many hands, you just pick up on little things a lot quicker. Of course, as I'm getting into this, I also want to let you guys know we have an awesome community in the pinned comment where you can talk with me one-on-one as well as with some other high-level members. Now, if you're stuck or hitting a wall at your current stake and want to just take things more seriously, highly recommend getting into it. Also, if you could tap the like and let's get right into this. Also, this is going to run for about 15 to 20 minutes, so grab a bottle of water, some Gatorade, or some coffee, and, let's lock in. All right, so, the thing is, when you get to 500 NL, the players get better, okay? It's just the reality of it. You're probably going to find a lot more regulars, too. And hold on, we got pocket nines right here. Sorry, don't want to get sidetracked, but this hand was interesting with pocket nines because we are going to get re-raised. But really, the thing you got to understand is like when you get good at basically knowing GTO and all the basics and all the fundamentals, what you want to do is start exploit opponents using those type of strategies because that's really the unlock. Okay, that's the unlock, and I know it's a little bit there's more nuance to it, but like in this spot we got pocket nines, right? Player five could easily have an ace here. There's also a flush draw out there. We called a re-raise, but when we hit the 9 on the turn, I checked it right away again right here, and we could be putting player 5 on some obvious hands since he re-raised pre-flop. Ace king, ace queen suited. Pocket aces is possible as well, but obviously we're not going to be thinking about that anymore. We hit the 9 on the turn. Player 5 went for a huge sizing right here. He didn't have much left behind. I could have just called this, but instead I just made the play I made right here. We're putting him on ace king or ace queen, right? I mean, those are the hands we're putting him on. I don't really see him folding here, especially with all this aggression. But I was kind of surprised, especially after going this large. He decided to muck it. I was very confused by this, especially if he had obviously he didn't have what we were hoping for, but we still took it down right there. Most of the time, player 5 is going to snap that off with like ace king or ace queen. Sure, we got lucky there on the turn, but at the same time, I kind of told you what I was thinking, right? So if you only get like one thing out of this, even though I still want you guys to stick with me, you gotta mix things up. Okay, you're playing against better opponents at 500 NL. You can't just play like a basic strategy. And you can't just go by GTO. You have to make plays. You have to make bluffs. And you get better at this stuff. Like the more you put into this, the more you're going to get out of it. That's just how it is. Kind of like anything out there. But there is nuance to it, which is why if you want more in-depth advice, I'm going to keep saying it. You can go back and watch some of the vids here. It got well over 100 of them, at 500 NL. But yeah, man, get in the community, okay? Been doing this long enough now where, it is what it is. Here we got a 5-7 suited, continued here. I mean, not exactly the flop we wanted to see, but 5-7 suited, man, along with like 10-7 suited. It's a couple of my favorite hands to play. Don't ask me why. They're just good to me, okay? I feel like I'd rather play a 10-7 suited over pocket aces sometimes. I don't know what it is, man. And check out that turn card right there. Pretty interesting, right? All right. So doing pretty good to start things off. Obviously, we did get that 9, which a little bit lucky for sure, but it is what it is, guys. And here we are. All right, so we had a 7-8 suited here. I'm going to kind of mix things up in this spot. You are going to see some bluffs that I'm like I said, I'm not afraid to bluff. If I think somebody is weak, no issues, doing my thing, okay? That's all I'm saying. And you will see that. And, I'm not going to say I get it right all the time, but I do get it right quite a bit, all right? All right, here I'm going to just put a little aggression on player 3, being in the big blind here. Obviously, you could be doing this with a lot of different things. So, and this isn't exactly the hand you want to re-raise with, but I don't really care, you know, whatever. See what happens on the flop. And here we go. Here we go. He is going to defend. All right, good for him. He's got some courage. Okay. All right. Not a terrible flop, but at the same time, I'm kind of like thinking about going into defense mode. Maybe we get there on the turn with a 6. Maybe a jack could be good too here. I don't really know at this point, but, you know, here we are. All right, so I did check it. Turn card was a 4. I was actually thinking player 3 would check it again here. Let's see what he did. Now, I think he is actually going to go for it. Our hand is good enough to see a river card with. I'm sorry, he went way too big. I folded that. And we wouldn't have got there on the river anyways. That sizing was very suspicious. I think maybe he had something really... Maybe he had queen jack for all I know. But that was a really large sizing. I just had to let that one go. And it wouldn't have made a difference. You know, it was too much. All right, it was just too much. All right, next we had the 3-4 suited, or 3-4 offsuit. I'm sorry, I don't know why I called this, but I did. Maybe I was, you know, I mean, it didn't even matter. Player 5 is going to re-raise this again here. We're just going to let this go. We are not playing the 3-4 offsuit. I wouldn't even probably play the 3-4 suit. I'd just let that go. So it is what it is. Well, we got kings. All right, we got kings. First to act here. Let's hopefully get some kind of re-raise. That's not good, guys. All right, player 3 calls. He's barely got anything left. We hit the king, but you know we're not gonna get much out of this at all. I went really small here to kind of keep him in it, hoping he would just maybe come over the top, but he just let it go. So it is what it is. Definitely a little frustrating right there, getting a set of kings and then just getting nothing. It's like, dude, what's going on here? All right, so this was something right here. We got a jack 8 suited. This is a very good hand to play, especially in a game like this, right? We're in the big blind here. I don't know, man. Jack 9 suited, Jack 8 suited, those hands are very good ones for getting straights, weird flushes, and sometimes you get a straight flush, and that's exactly what's going to happen in this one. Very unexpected, and I think we had runner. Kind of couldn't believe it on this one. All right, player 2, I think, is going to raise here on the button. We're going to defend. Every once in a while, you could actually re-raise this, I think, if you want, but I'm just going to defend. So here we go. Depends on how aggressive you want to play. Now, not a terrible flop. We got a 10 to the nut straight. We got runner cards for flushes. We get a jack on the turn. 9 of hearts on the turn gives us a straight flush draw. Do I check? I did check it. Back over to player 2, who feels like he's got nothing. And then look at the river card here. Are you kidding me? We got runner for the straight flush. Now, I knew I was going to get much out of this. You know, I just knew it. But I went pretty small here, trying to just squeeze a little bit, you know, a little bit of juice. And I'll tell you what, even though nothing happened there, I still can't believe we got the straight flush on runner. I mean, that's something right there, right? But we did. Okay, it actually happened, all right? All right, we got a queen 5 suited. You know we got to play this one. Not exactly my favorite hand, but got to make a call here. We're in the small blind. Maybe we get something. You never know. Got to defend, though. We got to defend, y'all. Okay, so we did. And we got the 5. No diamonds to go with it. Ace on the turn. And this is just a check. And, you know, I'm just hoping a 5's good. And I'm pretty sure it ended up being good. So I'll pat myself on the back for that one. I hope you guys are still with me, though, because this is going to get better. And, you know, maybe you learn something, maybe you don't. But, you know, I'm just kind of giving you the way I approach this. You know, and I've been doing it long enough now where, you know, you can say whatever you want. I really don't care, man. I really don't care. I make plays. All right, pocket tens. I did just call this. You know, player three hasn't really been too active, so giving him the benefit of the doubt here. Probably should have re-raised this. Not a bad flop for tens. You know, we're still ahead a lot of those ace X's, ace king, ace queen, ace jack type of thing. So I checked it. Turn card was a seven of diamonds. We don't have a diamond, but I'm pretty sure we're doing pretty good here. Okay, we just got to probably dodge a diamond on the river. Maybe we see like a two or a three, okay, or something that pairs the board again. I don't really care, like 4, 8, 7, whatever. He went really small here. I'm just going to call. We'll see what that river card is, and it is a jack. Don't really like that one too much, but I don't think we can fold here on the river either. I mean, we got to keep this guy honest. I would expect him to, I mean, he went kind of big here, which was a little suspicious to me. I'm like, why'd you do that? Did you just get there? We can rule out 9, 10 because we have a 10. He could have a flush. It's possible, but I got to see it. So I did. He ended up having absolutely nothing, and we took it down, okay? I was giving that one, you know, a 50-50 right there. I wasn't really sure, but, you know, it's all good. In the hood, we took it down, okay? Okay, and we're making our way here. Things are, you know, looking on the up. All right, Queen Jack. I think I'm going to open this one. First to act here. And, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, y'all. All right, nothing going there. It's all good. All right, queens. Yeah, this is the situation I kind of hinted at earlier when we started. You know, I was definitely just, this is just a weird spot with queens. I think player five is gonna re-raise this. I mean, the thing is, like, do we just call here? I did. I mean, you can re-raise every once in a while. Player five, it just seemed like he was playing pretty tight. When you notice someone's been playing pretty tight, you make decisions based on that, right? So, I could re-raise here. I thought about it. Um, Instead, I just opted to call. I do think raising's probably the what you want to do. It's just like I said, you know, you do notice if people are playing kind of tight. In player five, he was kind of playing pretty tight, so it is what it is. So here we are. Player two is gonna do his thing here. I'm just gonna call. We're blocking spades. You know, the jack out there, it is what it is. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. Back over to player five. Not sure what he's going to do. I think he comes along, though. He does. Jack on the turn is not the one we wanted to see either, but, you know, whatever. Queens, it still feels too strong to just fold here, so I'm not going to fold, okay? I'm not going to fold. I'm going to stick with it. If somebody leads out, it looks like everyone's kind of just playing a little bit cautious at this point, which is kind of like, you know, I'm thinking this is good. We'll see, though. All right, 9 on the river. I'm feeling pretty good, but still not completely sure where I'm at with this, if I'm being honest with you guys. And you know, I didn't know if somebody was kind of just like playing a sneaky jack here, which I could see. Back over to player five. And you know what? The pot kind of got up there. I feel like we did leave a little crumbs on the table here, but you know, it is what it is. I just had no idea what either of these guys had. And sometimes when you don't know, you know, you don't know, and you just kind of make the best decision you can. Because like I said, at the end of the day, we do have control over that. But here's the deal, guys. There is so much nuance to this, especially when you just start moving up. You're going to be playing against better opponents. Like I said, man, got a lot of vids here. You can kind of just see how I approach all this. But, you know, get in the community, pin comment. If you keep watching the vids here, obviously subscribe for more. Thanks for watching this, guys. We'll see you in the next one.